What you're about to see is unlike anything you know. Fear will take shape before your eyes, horror will grip your senses, and your courage will be tested at each of the following levels. Fear will probably control your senses as you discover some of the most horrifying facts a camera has ever recorded. But if you're up for the challenge, you'd better turn off the light, avoid any distractions, and prepare yourself for an experience you won't be able to get out of your head for a long time. Will you accept the challenge? If so, I'll be waiting for you at the last level. Good luck. Level 1. We'll start this horror tour with a disturbing video that was captured by a group of fishermen in Indonesia. It was in the middle of their work in the wide rivers of this country when something creepy caught their attention. Watch the video. Who is driving this boat? We are all asking the same question. This isn't a simple accident or a running engine. The boat advances with a well-defined course. It doesn't stumble over anything. It doesn't collide with the shore or with the rest of the boats. It just moves along the river, as if someone we couldn't see was driving it. Of course, this detail doesn't go unnoticed by any of the fishermen. They all look uneasy and puzzled. Someone seems to be manning this boat, although we definitely can't tell. Level 2. Now, to raise the level of terror a little bit, we'll learn about the story of a family house that has nothing strange about it at first glance. It's well decorated, the furniture is perfectly arranged, and the space is pleasant. However, this warm home environment becomes a scene of horror when the camera begins to record paranormal events. Let's see it in the video. Without explanation, the lights in the doorway flicker until they go out. This is strange. The house is still illuminated. It wasn't an electrical failure. It looks like if someone had turned off the lights, and the being that's responsible for doing it doesn't take long to arrive. Immediately, a door suddenly opens, as if a paranormal being was behind the strange events. The darkness seems to hide it from the camera lens. Still, a strange shadow seems to move to the opposite side of the room and then retraces its steps and closes the door again. The scene lasts a few seconds, but it's enough to terrify anyone. Who's behind these mysterious events? To this day, the family still doesn't know the answer. Level 3. If you're still determined to go through these spooky levels and are sure that fear hasn't invaded your body, you'll surely begin to experience a horrifying sense of unease and dread with the following story. This story begins with a young man from Brazil who was doing a live recording for his followers in the middle of the city when someone unexpectedly appeared in his field of vision. Let's watch this video.
Hari ini kita syuting Uang Kaget. Udah mulai dengan konsep baru, nanti ada gabung sama program apa.
The man's reaction reveals a fright as genuine as the one you've probably just experienced. While he's calmly talking to the camera, he feels a presence behind him. He knows it's not something common. It's not a person approaching, but something stalking him, and when he turns his face slightly, he encounters a hellish woman. He can barely appreciate the face of this spectral figure, but it's enough to suffer an inexplicable terror that runs through his whole body. Her face seems to reveal her dark intentions. Her eye sockets look almost empty as she offers a chilling image that no one would want to encounter in the middle of the night. Level 4. From this point on, things will become as creepy as an abandoned mental institution. We will increase the level drastically and advise you to be very careful with what you're about to see. This strange story took place in Provincial, China, a region that few know about and that is famous for its vast fields and open forests. It's in this scenario where we find the protagonists of this curious video, who are trying to move forward on a clear path, but mysteriously, they feel their bodies heavy, their joints tired, and their legs numb as if something or someone was holding them back. Let's watch the video and try to guess what could be causing such an effect on these men. Initially, everything seems to be completely calm. There aren't any anomalies or anything mysterious, but suddenly, when the camera pans down to the cameraman's feet, something shocking happens. For a brief fraction of seconds, an image steals our breath away. It's a spectral child with a pale skin, a deformed and bruised face, a rabid mouth, and monstrous features that could paralyze anyone's heart. Apparently, the image lasts only a few seconds, almost as if it weren't real. Somehow, it gives the feeling that these men went into a haunted place where they couldn't even move forward to the specters that prowl the area and try to cling to living beings to escape from this supernatural place. Level 5. If you haven't felt real terror yet, or if your heart rate is still under control, get ready because that's going to change. This creepy video could make you anxious, and even getting out of bed to get a glass of water could be a scary experience. It's a recording made by a couple in a Latin American city. The events took place in their home, which offered gloomy images, deep darkness, and dull ornaments that already announce that nothing good will happen in this place. Let's see what they managed to record with their phones. In the distance, a cat looks at them with its glass eyes, as if it knows that something is about to happen. And indeed, something strange does happen. The camera managed to capture a strange shape, and the cameraman decides to run towards the stairs, determined to capture with his camera lens. Then, leaning over the railing, he catches a glimpse of it. It's a head and hands moving on the floor below. The shapes are only visible for a couple of seconds, and almost instantly, the dogs begin to bark. The atmosphere becomes heavier and gloomier, and fear takes over the scene. Still, the cameraman descends, determined to catch the specter, but to no avail. It has disappeared. Or at least, that's what he thinks until he ascends back up the stairs when he's met by a creature so terrifying that we can only wonder what has happened to this couple, because since the publication of this video, they have never used social networks again. Level 6. We've reached the ultimate level of horror. If you haven't been scared yet, this is your last chance to escape the challenge. Although if you insist on continuing, be careful with what you're about to see. On this occasion, the camera takes us to the interior of a car and the conversation between the driver and the co-driver. Nothing seems to go wrong. It's a quiet night, no problems. But then, without anyone expecting it, a person approaches the window and knocks on it with some desperation. Let's take a look at the events. Instantly, on the other side of the window, the intruder looks alarmed. Something is wrong and he seems to be trying to warn them. However, confusion and fear take hold on the vehicle's crew, but everything changes when strange sounds coming from the back seats make them leave the car in despair. As they get out, the camera shakes violently. That doesn't stop it from capturing something utterly chilling. Can you see it? It's something very similar to a walking corpse, a completely emaciated and wounded human being that doesn't seem to have a soul. Its face is so terrifying that it can hardly be stared at for more than 5 seconds, and although the passengers of the vehicle fled the scene, no further information was ever obtained regarding this macabre case. If you made it this far, you have proven to be braver than we have imagined. Terror and the world of creepy seem to have no effect on you. But if you'd like to keep trying your luck and facing this terrifying challenge, you better check out the following videos and face other of our challenges. Do you accept the challenge? Follow us to the heart of terror and get ready to continue living on the edge of fear. Here are the videos.